Sorry about that, hit a wrong button. So these are more beets, and as you can see the big view, we have a path that goes around, and there's beets and different greens that follow the path. I'll take you through that. So this is a verbena that's coming up. This is a cool thyme plant, Kent Beauty oregano. It's a cool oregano plant. Next to it is lemon balm, then again pink echinacea. We have strawberry spinach that's going to seed. It makes these little berries that taste like spinach. Then we have a little rosemary and sage. Close up of these beets. We've been harvesting these leaves. I just harvested this kale yesterday. There's a bunch of these throughout the garden. And then we have interspersed onions or leeks, various kinds of them. Behind those we have, growing up a fence, a bunch of snap peas. Again, we have these all throughout the garden. We'll go down there in just a moment. So to my left here, we have another lemongrass plant. We have a pepper plant. This is called lovage. This will get 6-8 feet tall actually. It's a perennial. It's like a strong celery. This is a little berm in front of a pluot tree. We had a really late frost this year. It killed a lot of the leaves on these trees, but they're bouncing back. This is a first-year pluot tree, half apricot, half plum. At its base, growing all around it, are radishes that are going to seed, so they'll reseed themselves. We have a Swiss chard stuck in there, another pepper plant. On this side of the pluot tree at the base, we have mint. We have a pepper plant, again, that's going to come up. Next to that is a borage. We have tatsui, another Asian green that's going to seed but attracting bees. In the front there, nasturtium, another pepper plant. Old-timey blue collards. 2 more tomatoes. At the base of the tomatoes, a squash plant that'll grow out under all these tomatoes as they grow up, take up the space underneath them. We have a patch of lettuce underneath this Santa Rosa plum tree. Just mulching around the base. The premise of this garden is mulch. I never till. So I just dig little holes when I plant the plants. And the soil and the worms, everyone's happy. More lettuces. These greens you see coming up are called garlic chives, and they're the single thing everyone ought to be growing. They're a perennial. They come back every year, and you'll use them in most of your meals. They're delicious. At the base of this tree again is mint. This will fill in all this space over time. This is another blue columbine that's edible. And this is the start of our blackberry patch. So if you could see this in person, you'd be blown away at the width of this. Here's my finger for perspective. So you have a vine that's as wide as my finger. This thing will grow 15-20 feet long by the end of the year. And what it will become next year is really long sets of second-year blackberries, which turn into that. And they're just going to get bigger and bigger and blacker and blacker. And they're going to be so good. It's such a big area of blackberries. There's also a few raspberries mixed into this, but every one of these flowers is a bunch of blackberries. And there's so many. Alright, we'll cut across here now. So this was my original patch of garlic chives. And then next to it is horseradish. Then we have more tomatoes. Down the front of that path again is beets and onions and nasturtium. That's a yarrow plant with a beet seedling coming up underneath it. This is called French sorrel. Tastes like lemon. It's a cool plant. Behind it is verbena again. It'll have purple flowers. And then we have a rhubarb That's a perennial, keep coming back. Again, sorrel's a perennial, horseradish, this verbena. Verbena is mostly for bees and it looks awesome. This is a pepper plant. Yarrow creates these great flowers that ladybugs love. Yesterday I got hit in the head by a ladybug. That's a good sign your garden's healthy. Again, beets, onions, nasturtium, more tomatoes. This is a beet plant that's going to seed. These are, again, lettuces, various kinds of lettuce. We're able to cut these whole heads off now to thin them out. This is a nectarine tree that was doing so good. It had so many nectarines until frost, late frost, but we have two great ones, still doing pretty good. Blackberries are just unbelievable. So at the base of this nectarine, parsley, an oak tree, we'll have to pull that out. Mint, more mint, and then you can see beets. These are lettuces, oh that's beets again actually. An onion next to our little rock that we walk on. A random strawberry plant. This is a Brussels sprout. Onions, pepper plant. Alright, to my left, a row of what needs to be thinned, but cantaloupes. Now, these will spread out all over the ground down here. And there's a couple of beans thrown in there. Behind that is a Brussels sprout that's not taken up so well. Pepper plant. This is actually a black locust, and I'm using it because it grows real fast and straight, so I'll cut it down for stakes in a couple years. But in the meantime, I use the leaves for mulch on other plants. These are my first two blueberry plants. So these were actually planted in the fall. You can see they've got blueberries on them. At the base now we have, again, beets in there. That's some verbena mixed in with strawberry spinach. This is a really cool looking guild here. This is a Gala apple tree. It's got a couple apples I'll show you in a moment. I'm going to keep all these trees pruned to no higher than about 10 feet. At its base, all different lettuces. Some mint, as you can see. And then we've got beets, pepper, cilantro that comes up naturally in this little area. Another beet, pepper. There's an open space for a couple more plants I'll put in. We have a row of garlic. Behind the garlic is Tuscan kale, Swiss chard, rainbow Swiss chard, yellow in this case. Then we've got two more tomatoes. We got beans growing up under them. Again, tomatoes. This is our asparagus patch in front of the greenhouse. So you can see I've got to pick some of these, particularly that one back there. That's a good looking one. So that's our little asparagus patch.